with me through it all. When I look back, I can see your hand. You had your hand on me. God was with me through it all. When I look back, I can see your hand. You had your plan for me.
Welcome to Truth Prevails. This is the video that I had with Shirley. If you remember my study with her, we were talking about how she's comfortable with the changes. My always concern is that if the Watchtower's giving me doctrine with the scriptures, and then they come back and they change the teaching, they're just going to give me different scriptures. So just a level of concern of how can I, trust and believe what you're telling me if it could change. And the problem is when the doctrine changes from one teaching to a totally different teaching, that's not new light. New light should be you get a teaching and then more information is revealed about that same teaching. It shouldn't change from, 10 days we're going to be here to 50 days. It should be 10 days we're going to be here and we're going to be at this location. So it's more information, that light's getting brighter. But as we know, their doctrine totally changes. And also she wasn't aware that even with the anointed and the anointed believers and the whole body, that teaching has changed. So I think a lot of witnesses are ignorant of the history of the publications, which is understandable because when there's so many changes and there's so many publications, it's hard to keep track of everything. So like, comment, and share. Tell me what you think. Happy New Year. Hope everyone's doing well. And God bless.
My heart wants to be here.
Well, what comforting words can you give me? Because if that teaching has changed in the past, kind of who was the anointed and kind of who made it up, how can you be 100% sure that it won't change in the future if people didn't even think it was going to change in the past?
Because for one thing, the Bible doesn't change, and the Bible always had it. Man's understanding is different. Like, sometimes you have people who are teaching you the truth, and sometimes false priests come in and say something different. But this has always been, we as Jehovah has always meant for us to be on the earth, always. There wasn't no Bible in the beginning, there was no 144,000. But after the sin, circumstances changed. He found a way to give us forgiveness and to have us reconciled back to him through his son's death. And so Jesus' death is what shows that Jehovah wants us to be on this earth living the peaceful life we were supposed to have in the beginning. The only reason there's 144,000 is because he wanted rulership over the earth to be righteous. And what guarantee is that? Is by people being picked who followed Jesus when he was on earth. He started the picking then. Those were bought to go to heaven, to help us, to rule over us. So this kingdom will never end. So we will always be ruled by righteous people. So there'll be no every 4 years we're going to pick somebody else and they can be wicked or they might not be. We won't ever have to. There's comfort in knowing that we will never have a corrupt kingdom ever again.
Okay. But because that's important that it doesn't change, because even in the past when they had different teachings about who are the anointed, they gave it a Bible, they gave it a Bible verses. So it's like it's just leaning on the Bible verses that they give us enough to kind of determine the truth, if it's the truth, because we could both die tomorrow, God forbid, and then it changed. So it's like but
if they change, we don't change. We're not going to change because the Bible's not going to change. It's solid. So I don't think that'll be happening. You know, in back further, I'll say 1976 on back. It was a little shaky because people wanted things to happen. They were tired of this world that we were living in, and they thought that the world was going to end, but they never should have did that because it wasn't for us to say. And I was in junior high at that time, and I said it too. But when it didn't happen, it didn't break me because I wasn't really in the truth at that time. I was a kid, but I could hear what was going on as my parents were learning to become witnesses. I could hear what they were learning, and they were trying to change us, but we were too old already, so we didn't change. But over the years, out of 8 kids, 6 of them are Jehovah Witnesses. Two of my brothers aren't, but they died, so they'll be resurrected. So I will see them again. And one of them had started studying the Bible and saying Jehovah's name, and the other one was living his life the way he wanted to.
So now it's funny that she said this because I had this publication up on the screen. I put it in the description where it was talking about a different change about the great crowd in 1935. And the caption, I guess the title of the paragraph is, "Why might some Bible students have thought that some would perhaps be raised to heaven after the millennium?" And it's telling you some people thought this for a reason. And in the little paragraph, the answer, it tells you that possibility was suggested years ago in the February 15, 1913 issue. So people are coming to the wrong conclusions because of what's posted in the publications. And she tries to blame it on the members. And a lot of witnesses try to do this to try to make it seem like the false prophecies on the organization, but it's on the members. But the members believe this because of what they're seeing in the publications.
Because he died, he'll be back.
Okay.
So anyway, lean on that you just follow the Bible because other people stumble. You just lean on the Bible, and that's what I do. And when somebody says something different, I call them on it. Like a brother gave a talk, and he said something, and I didn't understand it, and you ask those elders, and they'll explain it. If they can't explain it, go to JW or write them. They have to write you back. And that's what I did. I didn't, I don't call them and try to get a brother to explain something to me. I'll write them in the heads. They have the answer and they'll answer. Mm-hmm. So just put your trust in Jehovah in that he doesn't change. He's never changed. He's always wanted us to live on a paradise earth. And that's what we're going to get.